Hi everybody, this is Symphonic Elk coming to you with my 7th comic book haul, and I think my 4th or 5th comic book haul for 2018. But before I get started with the haul, I wanted to talk about a video that I watched earlier today. So a new YouTube creator, Gills311 or 311, that's GILLS 311. I'll link his page on in the description. Please sub him up. He had posted an important video either last night or earlier today about an interaction that he had with another comic book fan in his area. And this comic book fan is unfortunately suffering from cancer, and he's having to sell his comic books in order to I suppose pay for treatment. It's a little bit unclear. So this guy Gills 311, he's trying to help this comic fan named Cody out, and so he is going to create a You Caring or GoFundMe page in the next couple of days, and calling it Comics for Cody. So if you have a little bit of extra cash laying around, whether it be $5, $10, $50, $100, I ask you to, maybe think about sending it this guy Cody's way. He seems, like he's suffering, but is keeping a positive mentality through his treatments. And I'm sure that, hey, karma's, you do a good thing, and sometimes good things happen to you. Sometimes they don't. But anyway, I guess we'll find out. So I guess moving on with my haul, I've split it up into a couple of different sections. The first section are some of the comic books that came out this past week. I usually don't highlight these in my hauls, but I don't have as many books as I normally do to show you all, so that's what we get. So for this week, I picked up Ice Cream Man #1. I picked up cover A and cover B. And right now these are kind of hard to find. I think they're going for about double cover price online. Haven't had a chance to read it. It's supposed to be really good. Who knows? Then I picked up Days of Hate #1. It's just the premiere issue. It's a maxi series, so this is chapter 1 out of 12. This book, unlike Ice Cream Man, is kind of getting bad pub and bad reviews online. Don't really know why I picked it up. Just figured it's Image #1. They're always worth a $3 or $4 gamble. We'll see. I only picked up one Marvel book this week, and that was number 384. And this is and I'm really going to butcher the name, the Kamome Shirahama Young Avengers cover. I just really like the cover. Otherwise, I don't always read Doctor Strange. If you can hear my dog barking in the background, I apologize. So I also picked up Aquaman 32. You've probably seen this on a number of hauls. It's a Josh Middleton cover, and it's one of the best covers recently out, in my opinion. I picked up Super Sons #12. I've been on a little bit of a Super Sons kick. This is the epilogue to Super Sons of Tomorrow. This is cover B. I also picked up cover A, but I elected not to show it. This is the cover that I liked better. I picked up both covers of Batman 39. This is the cover B, the Olivier Coco cover. And this is cover A, the Mikel Janin cover. Well, probably should take care of that. Alright, so sorry about that. I guess I didn't have that balanced as well as I thought I had it. So the last book that I picked up for the week, I picked up the Harley Quinn Frank Cho cover. I always pick them up. I think they're pretty great. I will, since I had the accident, give you a little bit of a bonus or a heads up into how I operate while I'm fixing this. So, as you probably noticed, my stand is up on a black box, and this is one of those boxes that keep things as an archival box. So you might be asking yourself, is there something in the archival box? And the answer to that question is yes. So when the archival box flipped over, not only did Harley Quinn 35 fall, so did Thorn, Tales from the Lantern, which is what was in the archival box. Luckily, it appears to be unharmed. For those of you who are not familiar with Thorn was a so Jeff Smith, who is the artist and, well, just the creator in general of Bone and a couple of other ones. When he was at college at Ohio State in Columbus, he worked for the Ohio State newspaper, much like the book I showed before you, Frank Cho. While he was at Maryland, he worked for the Maryland newspaper and had a University Squared, which was the precursor to Liberty Medals. Anyway, so Thorn was essentially the precursor to Bone, as you can see, and this is a collection of strips from the newspaper that was printed in in the mid to late 80s, I think 86. I have to look at it. Anyway, it's quite rare, so it falling over in the archival box wasn't probably the best thing that could have happened to it. But it seems to be safe, and you get to enjoy my my heart stopping for a few minutes or seconds, I suppose. Anyway, moving on. So the next section that I have is covers that I've picked up recently, and let's see what I got. I'm not putting too many of them on here. So one of the things to come out recently was Classic Popeye number 65, particularly the 1 in 10 variant that has Popeye as a zombie, and I wasn't aware of these books, and I don't have the zombie one, so the number, I think, 65. But I started looking at the 1 in 10 variants that IDW is putting out for Popeye, and they're pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So this is number 48. I've ordered a couple more. They're really hard to find. They don't cost that much. Usually they're under $10 from what I can tell. And my advice to you all is, if you see them in the wild and they're $5, $6, $7, $8, I definitely go ahead and pick them up. If no one else, you might have a buyer in me. Moving on. Alright, so here is Alf 48. This might be the only Alf comic book that's really worth anything. It is the notorious Safety Seal cover. As you can tell by looking at it, it looks like Alf is having his way with the seal, so it's certainly potentially inappropriate. I think kind of where this comes from is there are a lot of old Archie comic covers called innuendo covers, where, you know, obviously at the time the way something was written didn't really mean anything, but now with the slang and things like pearl necklace or whatever, those issues have become sought after, and they're pretty expensive. So anyway, this is the Alf version, I guess, of an innuendo cover. So I showed you all in my last pickup that I picked up a Stephen Platt Moon Knight, the first one. I think it was 55. This is the final issue, number 60. I plan on picking up the next handful. Like I said, this is, to me, quintessential 1990s art style. And I found it to be quite incredible. Really love it. That was when I was really into reading comic books, so this brings back good memories. Alright, so I got some other variants. I picked up the X-Force variant for 17, the one with X-23, and this is the bloody variant cover. I picked up the Shattered Comics Mosaic variant. It's limited to 3,000 for Daredevil 597. It just recently came out. I picked up a couple of Art Germ covers. I picked up the Web number 1, the Web number 2, the Web number 3, and that's it for the Webs. I did also pick up Gotham City Sirens, a couple of issues for the March covers. I'm at the point now where I think I may try to just go for an entire run of Gotham City Sirens, but we'll see if I actually end up doing that. But I got issue number 8, number 12, number 13, number 15, number 18, and that's it. And then I picked up a couple of Adam Hughes covers. So this is Hammer of the Gods number 3. It's an Adam Hughes cover. It's the quote-unquote decapitation cover. I picked up DC Comics Presents Batman number 1. This is also an Adam Hughes cover and an homage to Batman 183, which I believe is the second appearance of Poison Ivy. The first appearance is 181. Let me re-say that. This comic is not the second appearance, obviously, but the 183 that this cover is a homage of, I do believe it's the second cover. And then finally, I picked up Sensation Comics Wonder Woman number 4. This is an Adam Hughes cover, and this is one of my all-time favorites of his. Although, if you've watched any of my videos, I have a lot of all-time favorites. I think this one's pretty special. All right, now moving on to key appearances and other, or first appearances and other key issues. I don't have as many of these as I normally do. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I picked up Outcast number 1. I believe there's a Showtime show. It's just one of those comics that I've always meant to pick up. It's fairly inexpensive. It's a Robert Kirkman joint, I guess. And for some reason, I just never got around to it. I always found something else I wanted more, but I went ahead and picked it up as a filler for an order to make the shipping worthwhile. I picked up Morning Glories. I think this is number 14, and it has a Peter Panzerfaust preview. I also picked up Mondo number 1. This is also a Peter Panzerfaust preview, but I believe it is the first one, so I guess it's technically the first appearance of Peter Panzerfaust. It's also oversized. I picked up Hinch Girl number 1. It's the first appearance of Hinch Girl mannequin Sue Tanaka, Tina Caro, Coco Oun, and Monsieur Butterfly. And this is one of those comics from Scout Comics that's getting a little bit of buzz for the potential of a TV show or a movie. I can't remember which. Anyway, I like the art style. It's a little bit different, a little bit more comic-y. I think Hinch Girl was originally a webcomic, but don't quote me on that. I also got issue number 2. It just came with it. Then I picked up Captain Canuck number 1. So this is the first appearance of Captain Canuck and Blue Fox. And it either has been or will be released by Scout Comics. And I don't know how many of you all are familiar with Jay Baruchel, or anyway, the actor from a lot of the like Knocked Up movies. Those ones. He's the skinnier Canadian. He was approached by Scout Comics to write a script for a Captain Canuck movie. And I guess he came back within like a couple of days with essentially like 10 years worth of material, at least plotted out, and asked if he could invest in the company. And so they either have or plan to revitalize Captain Canuck, Canadian superhero extraordinaire. I picked up Rust number 1. This is the bronze foil edition. There are 10,000 copies of these made. More of the non-foil one, which is actually a different cover altogether. This is important because it is an early preview of Spawn, and as far as I know, I think this is actually the first one. It certainly predates Malibu 13, which is often thought to be the first preview of Spawn. This one came out a month before, so I guess it depends on how you want to define first appearance. I did pick up a Marvel title. This is the first appearance of Thane. It is New Avengers number 10, and Thane is Thanos' son, and hopefully there's some big things in store for him movie-wise. Well, we'll find out. And so my last bit is the DC key issues that I picked up recently. Again, nothing terribly special here. I got Flash number 3, which is one of like the 10 supposed first appearances of the new Wally West. I picked up a Green Lantern 20. This is the combo version. The first appearance of Jessica Cruz. There is a regular version of this with the blue cover, where it's red, here it's blue. There is a 1 in 25 variant, I believe. There's a variant, it's either 1 in 25 or 1 in 10. And then there's this combo variant. So the combo pack and the variant I recommend picking up. They are pretty good. I also picked up Justice League 40. This is the Garner variant cover. It's 1 in 25. I already had the other Justice League 40, the regular cover. This is the first appearance of Grail. I picked up Justice League 50. This is the first appearance of Jason, who is Wonder Woman's brother, and may potentially be the first appearance of the new Wally West. So I didn't write that on the label when I labeled it because I'm uncertain whether that's true, but that's what my little bit of research said. I picked up Batman 638. This is the second printing of when Red Hood is revealed as Jason Todd. I think what they did with the first and second printings of this is pretty amazing. The first printing has Batman holding the helmet, and you can see Jason Todd's face in the reflection. And the second printing has Jason Todd holding it, and you can see Batman's face. It's pretty cool. I picked up Static number 1, the first appearance of Static, who's Virgil Hawkins. The first appearance of Frida Gorin, Gene Hawkins, Sharon Hawkins, and Hotstreak. I don't know if I've said it before. Although this Static cover isn't all that impressive, some of the ones like 2, 3, and 4 are really, really cool. Especially number 4. Number 4 has Static wearing Miami University, or excuse me, University of Miami. Miami University is in Ohio. University of Miami is in actual Miami, Florida. Hat on, and it's pretty cool. So I picked up New Teen Titans number 5. This is the first appearance of Trigon. And last but not least, I picked up Black Canary and Oracle Birds of Prey number 1. And this is the first full appearance of Birds of Prey. And yeah, it's pretty great. So again, check out Gills 311, GILLS 311. And like I said, if you have a little bit of extra cash and you want to do a little bit of a good deed, once he sets up the GoFundMe or You Caring page, donate a couple bucks for comics for Cody and help this young fella out. Brighten his day a little bit. And anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great afternoon. Thanks. Bye.